All right. So this is for Math 2, the final exam. There's going to be an extra credit problem at the very end of your final. It's going to be about completing the square, and it's going to ask you two questions. Given a quadratic equation, can you complete the square to rewrite the quadratic function into vertex form? And then a second part, using part A, to find the solutions or the roots of the quadratic by setting y equal to 0. So in this video, we're going to go over how to do that for simple cases. And this is the kind of problems you could expect on the final. So let's start with y equals x squared minus 6x. And I want to give myself a little bit of space. Plus 5. Okay. To complete the square, what I am doing is I'm going to get y, and then here I'm going to divide this number, negative 6, by 2. So negative 6 divided by 2 gives me negative 3. I want you to write negative 3, and then we're going to square that. Okay. So what we're essentially doing is we are dividing the middle number by half. We get negative 3. And then what that does is that negative 3. So here, my calculator, I'm going to write negative 3. And then when I square it, I get a positive 9. So I'm going to write a positive 9 here. But if I add 9 to my equation, I need to balance this out by subtracting 9. And then the very end, I have 5 minus 9. That gives me negative 4. And now I went from rewriting it in standard form to now vertex form. And that's the whole point of part A, completing the square. Okay. So now using part A, find the two solutions by setting equal y equals to 0. So what is this? This is saying is grab whatever we got from A. Y becomes 0. So I have 0 is equal to my whole equation in vertex form, x minus 3 squared minus 4. Now I want to get x by itself. We want to find the two solutions. So find x. Okay, so if I want to get x by itself, what that means is I want to leave x alone. I want to move everything else to the other side. So this minus 4, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I get 4 is equal to x minus 3 squared. Now here, we're going to take the square root of both sides. And when I take the square root, I get plus or minus the square root of both sides. So I have the square root of 4 plus or minus, this is equal to x minus 3. And our last step, I have a plus 3 on both sides, plus 3. I cannot combine these two. And I get 3 plus or minus square root of 4, and that is equal to x. And then we've seen how to separate these two. One of them, we're going to get two solutions. One of them is going to be 3 plus the square root of 4. The other one's going to be 3 minus the square root of 4. Plugging that in, into my calculator. I get 3 plus the square root of 4. We get 5 for one of them. The other one is going to be 3 minus. And we get 1. So here, I know the square root of 4 is equal to 2, but if this wasn't a perfect square, it's easier to just do this into your calculator than trying to evaluate. Okay, so that was one example. Let's go over one more. And let's say I have this quadratic, x squared plus 8x is equal to 12. Okay, so again, I'm going to give myself some space. Y is equal to x squared plus 8x. Give yourself some space. And then we have this plus 12. When I write it in vertex form, I'm going to write x. The first one is always going to become x because I don't have any middle terms in the middle, in the front. I don't have a term besides 1. Okay, so I have x. What I'm going to write next is going to be simply when I divide 8 by 2. So 8 divided by 2, that gives me 4. So I'm going to write plus 4 and then square it. When I square it, this is 4 squared, and that is 16, positive 16. If I am adding 16, that means I need to balance this out. So positive 16, then I need to subtract 16. This becomes 12 minus 16 minus 4. Okay, so this is my vertex form. X plus 4 squared minus 4. And you can double check this by expanding this out, just how we did in the study guide, and we should be getting the exact same thing. Okay. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, using part A, can you solve for 0? So, meaning, if y is equal to 0, I plug in 0. I make my y 0. Everything else stays the same. What are my two solutions? So again, plus 4 on both sides. I get 4 is equal to x plus 4 squared. Take the square root of both sides. But when I do, I need to do the plus or minus of that square root. So I'm going to get plus or minus the square root of 4 x plus 4. Subtract the 4 from both sides. I cannot combine these two. So I'm left with negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4. And that is equal to x. From this, I'm going to get two solutions. Negative 4 plus the square root of 4. Negative 4 minus the square root of 4. This one, negative 4 minus the square root of 4. Plug that in. So we're going to have negative 4 minus the square root of 4. I get negative 6. The other one is going to be the plus. Negative 2. And that's it. So on your final, there is going to be an extra credit about completing the square. And I'm going to leave these problems as exercise for you guys to attempt. These are going to be a little bit more challenging because you're going to be getting a decimal value. I'll help you guys out by giving you guys the answer, but you guys should just do the work and double check that you're doing it correctly. So for question 3, let's see. You're going to get y is equal to x minus 2 squared minus 5. And then your two solutions that you will be getting is one of them is going to be 2 plus the square root of 5. The other one's going to be 2 minus the square root of 5. Make sure you write this in decimal values. So it's going to be 2 plus the square root of 5. So it's going to be around 4.236. The other one is going to be minus, and that's going to be about around negative 0.236. Okay. For question 4, we are going to get y is equal to x plus 1 squared minus 6. And for your solutions, you're going to get negative 1 plus the square root of 6. That's going to be one of them. The other one's going to be minus 1 minus the square root of 6. And when you plug these in, we will be getting, let's see, negative 1 plus the square root of 6, around 1.449, and negative 3.449. So around those two. Okay. And as a reward for attempting this extra credit or watching this video, on your final, there's going to be 4 different versions of the final. These are going to be the 4 extra credit problems. So depending on which version you get, you will be getting one or the other. So it's pretty hard to see, but you're either going to get y is equal to x squared plus 10x minus 11, or you might get y is equal to x squared plus 8x minus 9, or you might get y is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 12, or you might be getting y is equal to x squared plus 6x minus 7. So the final is going to consist one of these problems. If you want to attempt them all, that way you know how to do all of them. That's up to you. But your final is going to be having one of these problems as a final credit problem. All right. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, you could always ask questions. Thank you.